students. Today we are starting our chapter number 5, data handling for class 8th. As we have studied this chapter in the earlier class also, so let us extend our knowledge for data handling. So let us understand it. In our daily life, we come across many types of situations or information such as runs made by batsmen in the last 10 test matches, marks scored by the students of your class in the maths unit test, number of books sold in the store. So all these types of examples are nothing but all giving some informations. So that informations collected in all these examples is called data. So the data, we can say it is a collection of numerical values or numerical facts, or we can say information about any object. So here data, we have discrete data. So the data which can be counted, like test of score or marks or runs scored or goals in football matches, but where the data which obtained from measurement, that is known as continuous data, for example weight and height. So some terms you have heard in the previous class, that is one of them is frequency in this chapter, data handling. So what is the meaning of frequency? Any number or any value which occurs in the set of data how many times. So the number of times each measure occur in the set, number of times any value occurs in the set, that is the frequency. So for making the frequency, understanding the frequency, let us take an example. Here it is the weight of 10 students in the class. So we can find out how many times 45 kg is there, or how many students having the weight 45 kg. So how many, that means we have to find out how many times 45 is occurring in this set of data. So for this, let us take the value which is least in this set, that is 31, which is the highest, we can say that is 45. So make the table for this as 31, 39, 40, 41, 45. So here we can say 31 that is of 1 time, 39 that is of 2 time, 40 is of 3 times, 41 is of 1 time, 45 is also of 3 times. So these are the frequencies where we are counting how many times 31 appearing in this data set, or how many times 45 appears in this set of data, that is 3 times. So we can say the maximum number of students having the weight 45 and 40 kg. Okay. Now you have collected the data like height of 20 students of your class, number of absentees in each day in your class for a month, or number of members in the family of your classmate. If you want to collect the data about these 3 points or about these topics, so how can we calculate, how can we count, how can we gather data? So how we can collect, that is the collection of information, how we can collect the data for each and every student or house or person concerned. So we have to go to them, we have to go and we have to ask how many family members are there in your family, or we can say we can measure the weight of 20 students, or we can count, we can ask the students how many days you were present or you were absent in the class. So is it okay to calculate or to collect? So these types of data, when we collect that from each and every student or each and every concerned person. So this types of collection of data is known as the primary data. Whereas when you get the information, like an example here, the absentees in each day of class for a month. So how can we collect the data? We can go to the class teacher or a particular teacher who is taking the attendance in the class. We can observe the attendance register, and from there we can note down the student which is absent for the month in our class. Correct? So we are collecting this information from where? The source which is available in the school record, that means the attendance register. So that attendance register which is already stored the information about the absentees of the students. So you will referring the data from there only, that is from the attendance register only. So these types of data are known as secondary data. So we can say that we have the two types of data, that is the primary and the secondary. So here the data that are collected for the first time by an investigator or an observer for a specific purpose is known as the primary data. Whereas when a data that are sourced from some place that has originally collected is known as secondary data. So here what is the meaning? That means the kind of data, which type of secondary data, that is a data already been collected by someone else or someone, researcher we can say, or investigator, or we can say observer in the past, and only we are referring that particular data. So that what we are referring that data is maybe in the available, either it is published form or unpublished form, or it is already stored. So that the data from where we are referring from the already stored data, that is the secondary data. We are not collecting from ourselves, we are collecting from already collected source. So that is the secondary data. Now when you collect the data, so by collecting the data, can you give any information regarding that particular data? For example, if you are having the weight of 50 students in the class or 40 students in the class, so can you tell me how many students are having the least weight or highest weight? Yes. So the data, if it is available, so we need to arrange that data, or the data which we collect, that is an unorganized data. So that is known as raw data. When we note down, or when we write down the weight of the 50 students in the class, so that is the raw data. So that raw data, from observing that raw data, we are not able to suppose to give the particular information regarding the weight of the class or weight of the students in the class. So that data, if we want to get the meaningful information, so we need to organize it in a systematic manner. So let us take the example here, that group of students was asked their favorite subject. So the result is note down as, now these written note, that means the collected data, this is the raw data. Now if you arrange this data in such a way that by observing that, within seconds you will get the information about the particular subject. So that is good. Or by observing this, you can calculate how many times are there science or maths or art. So rather than counting this, if we arrange this data in a systematic manner, so it will be easy to understand as well as easy to give meaningful result. So let us make a table for this data. Like in one column we note down all the subjects, and in the second column we make the telemark. As in the earlier classes we have we know how to mark, how to draw the tally marks, and number of students, that is the frequency. So one by one, if we count here, so how many times art is there, so we can make the tally mark for this art, then mathematics, then science. So by cutting out this type, when if I am doing this way, so by this what will happen, I will not miss any data if I am cutting the particular observation. So I will not miss any one of the observation. So like this we can make the telemark very easily, and it will not be wrong, it is correct, because we have calculator, we have counted all the observations. So here it is science, then after art, here it is art, then science again, so here it is the telemark for science, here it is again science, so make one more telemark for this. Now then mathematics, so make the telemark for mathematics. Art, now after this 1 2 3 4 4 tallies are there, so fifth one we have to make like this cross. And English, then this is 4, and again art, that is one more, then science, here it is again after 4 tallies we have to make the fifth one tally like this in diagonal. Mathematics again it is 4, then science it is after this we have to make one more, art, that is one tally here, and in English column there is fifth, again we have to mark like this horizontally, the not the vertically line segment, it is not the vertical line segment, we have to take this line segment diagonally. So this diagonally, when we draw this set, that means 4 tallies and fifth one is crossed them, so this is the set is a 5, so this represent 5 number of students, or 5 this symbol denote the 5. Okay, now after this we can count it, so 5 plus 2 7, so here art 7 students, mathematics 1 2 3 4, so we can write here is 4, English that is of 5, then science 5 plus 1 6. So by observing this data, now is it good to give the result or give the information for most like subject in the uh, school among the students? So from this collected raw data of this organized data, which is easy to give the result, yes, this tabular form, so this tabular form is easy to understand, to make and give the meaningful result also. So from this table now we can give the answer very quickly. So most like subject is what, art, as the frequency, that means number of students, how many students are liking the subject, 7, and how many students are not liking the subject, that is less frequency is 4 here. So this is the 4 shows that the number of students, only 4 students like the mathematics, that means we can say least like subject is maths. Okay, so this tabulation arrangement of the data is the frequency distribution table. So this table is known as the frequency distribution table. Now if in the previous example, as we have learned, the number of data is very less and it is easy to understand, it is easy to make the frequency distribution table. If the large number of data is there and we are not able to construct the frequency table as we have done in the previous example, so how we can construct the frequency table? So we can use the groups of the data, as if the data is very large, so in these types of cases we divide the data into the small groups. That is, if data is large, so we distribute data into small groups or classes. So let us take an example of here, it is of 30 students. So if the students are more than 30 or 100 or 1000, in that case also we can make the distribution table like this. So here it is, marks of 30 students out of 100 is given, and we have to ask to draw the or to construct the frequency distribution table for this data. So by observing this raw data, we are not getting any particular result, that how many students are getting 80 marks or how many students are getting 88 marks, how many students are the getting least mark, or what is the average mark of the class, or what is the minimum marks, what is the maximum marks. So these types of answers we are not able to give observing the raw data. But if we arrange this data, or we organize the data in such a way that it is easy to understand, so that way, that is the frequency distribution table, or here we are making the grouped frequency distribution table for the large number of data. So let us take the observations are here like this. So make the telemarks for the particular observation. So we can make the numbers, or we can make the groups of the marks as 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 8, 60 to 70, 70 to 82, and up to 90 to 100, by observing the minimum and the highest value of the data. That is, minimum value is here is 30 something, 38. So highest value is also is they are present 98. So that means we have to make the group of the data from 30 to 40. That means 30 to 40, these two, this difference between these two classes will be same for all group. If we are taking 30 to 40, so that means 30 and 40 is known as the class interval, and this 30 is the lower limit, whereas this 40 is the upper limit. When we are writing this 30 and 40, then 40 to 50, then 50 to 60, then 60 to 70, like this. So here when we are showing 30 to 40, this means 30 is present in this class interval, but 40 is not present. This 40 will follow in the next class. So the observation which is 40, we have to consider it is in second class interval. Now let us make the tallies for these marks. So 80, it is in the group of 80 to 90, as 80 will consider lower limit in this class, so 80 will include here, but 90 will not include. Now then 53, so 53 will consider as from 50 to 60 group. Then 83, it will be considered in 80 to 90 group. Then again next number is 79, so 79 becomes 70 to 80 group. 82, it is in 80 to 90 group. Then 33, it is in 30 to 40. Then 65, it is in the group 60 to 70. Then 80, it is in the group 80 to 90. Then 76, it is from 70 to 80, in between these two ranges, or in between these two classes. 37, it will be 30 to 40 class. 49, that is 40 to 50. 38, again it is 30 to 40. Then 46, it is 40 to 50. Then 62, it is inside 60 to 70 class. 58, it is in the class 50 to 60. 48, then 40 to 50 class. 59, this is in 50 to 60 class. Then 49, it is in 40 to 50 class. Then 65, it is in 60 to 70 class. 57, it is in 50 to 60. Again 56. Now after this 4, make the tally like this diagonally, so it shows 5. 51, it is 50 to 60. Then 68, again it is 60 to 70 class. 36, it is in 30 to 40. 72, that is in 70 to 80. Then 76, it is again 70 to 80. 88, in 80 to 90, and again after 4 tallies we have to make the diagonally this line segment, so it is 5. 93, 90 to 100. 98, this is again 90 to 100, and the last number is 96, it is also in the 90 to 100 class. Now after making these tallies, now we can count the frequencies. As 30 to 40 group, there is 4, so 4 students are there in 30 to 40 group. Again 4 students are in 40 to 50 group. Then 6 students are there in 50 to 60. 4 students in 60 to 70, and again 4 students Again 4 students in 70 to 80, 5 students in 80 to 90, and 3 students are 90 to 100. Now it is easy from this tabulation form or the arranging the data in this tabulation form, which is known as the frequency distribution table. By observing this, easily we can get the result that how many students are there in 90 to 100 group. Only 3. So we can say maximum number of students are in this class getting 50 to 60 marks. 50 to 60, as we are observing here 6. This is the highest frequency in this. Frequency is 4466, 4453. So highest frequency is 6. So here we can say 50 to 60. Most of the students are getting 50 to 60 marks. And very less students are getting 90 to 100 marks. Okay. In the same way, when we are making the frequency distribution as the class intervals or the marks in the groups 30 to 40, 40 to 50. So this is the one variety of the table when we can take the table when we take the classes like this. Again, when we have the table like again same data, make the table in another way also, that is 30 to 39, then 40 to 49, we can arrange this one 50 to 59. So here the difference between the numbers, here it is 39 minus 30 is 9, 49 minus 40 is, again the difference is same. So meaning of this, again 30 to 39 is 30 and 39 will, both the numbers will come here, but 40 will occur in the next class, 40 to 49. 49 is also included. Now in this one table where when we are getting 30 to 40, where the upper limit of the previous class and lower limit of the second class are same, so this upper limit of the previous class will not include this in this first class, that 40 will include in the second class, whereas in this table where we are calculating the date, class interval like 30 to 39, 40 to 49, so the both upper limit and lower limit are not matching. That means this group will contain 30 to 39 marks. So 39 will also include in this group. So now make the tallies for these. So by making the tallies for this, after when we make the tally, we can find out that 30 to 39, how many students are here? 4. So if you want to calculate, so we can calculate like this. So 80, that will become 80. So it is here 53. Again 50 to 59, it will become here 83. 83 is again in this class 80 to 89 group. 79 is 70 to 79 group. 82, so 82 will become 80 to 89 group. 33 will come in 30 to 39 group. 65, it's in the group 60 to 69. 80, it is in the group 80 to 89. Then 76, it is in the group 70 to 79. Then 37, it is in the group 30 to 39. 49, it is in the group 40 to 49. So here 49 we are counting here. Okay, so this type of class intervals we are taking here, where upper limit and lower limit are not matching. So this 49 will include in the previous class. Now 38 will become here 30 to 39 group. 46 will come in 40 to 49. 62 will come in 60 to 69. 58, it is in the 50 to 59. 48 is in 40 to 49 group. Then 59 is in 50 to 59 group. Then 49, it is in 40 to 49 group. 65, it is in 60 to 69 group. 57, it is in 50 to 59. 56, again it is 50 to 59. How? Now here we have to make tally that in the diagonally. So it is shows 5. 51, again it is in 50 to 59. 68, 60 to 69. Then 36, 30 to 39. And 72, it is in 70 to 79. 76, again it is in 70 to 79. 88 in 80 to 89. So here make the tally diagonally. 93 is in 90 to 99. 98 also in 90 to 99, and this 96 is also in the 90 to 9 group. Now when we calculate the frequencies for these, so it is 4, again it is 5 and 6, it is 4, it is again 4, it is 5 and it is 3. So is there any difference between the frequencies in the first table and in the second table? No, there is no difference that number of students are in the group. Only the difference is the class which we are taking, the groups of the data which in which way we are taking. So even the data, the class interval are distributed in such a way that the lower limit and the upper limit of the two class is same, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and here it is not same. So these types of tables are known as, in the next we will discuss this. So these two types of way we can make the frequency distribution table. Remember, when you are making the frequency distribution table, you have to make the class difference, that means difference between these two. 30, that is lower limit, and 39 is the upper limit. So difference between the class, between the lower limit and upper limit will be same for all classes. Here 39 minus 30 is 9, 49 minus 40 is again 9, 59 minus 50 is 9, 69 minus 60 is 9, 79 minus 70 is 9, 89 minus 80 is 9, 99 minus 90 is 9. In the class interval, in all these class interval, the size, what we are saying, the difference, that is the size. So it is denoted by the size of the class will be same for all classes. In this distribution also, the distance or difference is same, 10. So we can say the size of this class, here we are taking 10, and the size of the class interval in this table we are taking as 9. So these two tables where these we are observing the class intervals in way 30 to 40, 40 to 50, or here in the 30 to 39, 40 to 49, all these are known as the class intervals. So 30 we know as in 30 to 40, this class 30 is the lower limit, whereas this 40 is the upper limit. Here this 30 is the lower limit and this 39 in this table is the upper limit. So in this type of class intervals, upper limit of one class interval is same. In this example, in the table number 1, upper limit and lower limit of the class intervals are same in the two classes. So this is the exclusive distribution. This table, when the data with when the classes are taken like that, upper limit of the previous class is the same as the lower limit of the next class. So this type of distribution is known as exclusive distribution. So we can say in exclusive distribution, the classes 30 to 40 means 30 and less than 40. So when exclusive distribution is there, that means lower limit and upper limit of the two classes are same. So meaning is exclusive 30. So from 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, up to 39 value we can consider in this group 30 to 40. But the value, if it is 40, so it will not consider in this 30 to 40 group. That will be considered in the next class interval 40 to 50. Similarly, in this 40 to 50 class interval, when we are observing here 41, 42, 43, 45 up to 49, all these values will consider in the 40 to 50 class interval, but 50 will not consider in this class. 50 will consider in the next class 50 to 60. The upper limit of one class here in the second table, when the upper limit of the one class does not coincide with the lower limit of the next class, this is inclusive distribution. So what is the meaning of exclusive? That lower limit and upper limit of the two classes will be match or will be same, whereas in the inclusive distribution, the classes lower limit and upper limit will not match. 30 to 39 means, here it is means both lower and upper limit includes in this class, as in the previous example when we are drawing the tally marks. So what is the meaning of this 30 to 39, and then if it is written 40 to 49, so the lower limit and the upper limit, they are not matching. So this is the inclusive distribution, and this contains 30 to 39 all datas or all values. And the next, consider 40 to 49 values. So 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, up to 49. From 40 to 49, all the observation will include in this class 40 to 49. But in this, where the lower limit and upper limit of that classes are same, so that 40 will not include in this, but 40 will consider in this class.